So I work often with sculpture, lots of different materials and processes, primarily thinking about our relationship with objects, how we come to value them or perceive them or determine whether some are more important than others. So this show kind of carries on that thinking and uses the museum as an example of a place where there's lots of different structures and tools that are in the museum that help you kind of learn how to approach these different things. So whether that might be knowing the context around an object, so there might be wall text or systems of hanging or display. And I'm interested in kind of making those quite visible, but also thinking about other ways that you might know objects, so that's much more based on your senses, so how something feels or how the weight of something might be in your hand. Yeah, I've been working with different representations of objects, so whether that's catalogues from museums or digital images, and then kind of remaking those objects. So lots of the work in the show uses plaster, and I've been using a process where you can take plaster casts of these really fine images that are printed, so it picks up a very slight relief in the plaster cast. Also using plastic that's been heat formed around the work so that it feels like, or I've been thinking of it as kind of fingers and grabbing and working out where the edges of these objects are. Yeah, the space at the New Art Gallery Warsaw is really great architecture-wise. It's got these really high ceilings, and I wanted to make you think about them or see them in a different way. I've been to Warsaw a lot of times and know the museum quite well. So I've made these wall shapes that the works sit on that go quite high in the ceiling. So the show's called Plaster Ghost Fingercast, which are 4 characters in the show. I've written a text piece for the exhibition that kind of introduces different characters, or what I've been thinking of as characters in the space, which are ways that materials might act, or ways that you could think about the different elements that are presented in the show, how they might talk to one another or converse, in a way that I felt was kind of, again, thinking about this museum kind of text, or the way that writing tells you things, but making it more kind of playful, and that it could be animating the works in the space. Yeah, so I've made a piece that is wearable for the show, some gloves that you can put on in the space. Yes. I guess thinking more about how you interact with or engage with spaces, with objects in spaces, that these are gloves that I've spray painted as I've been making shapes with them in my hands, so that they have a kind of history of an action that's happened in the gloves that then be kind of recreated in the space as quite sculptural forms. Thinking about how you often can't touch things in museums, that these pieces that you can engage with. There's also a fabric piece on the wall, which is originally a video that I've cut down into lots of separate frames that are then printed onto material. So another piece that is kind of animate in the space.